Thank you. Actually, it's 17. Hi everyone, I'm Renee.桃園永豐Junior High School, 桃園永豐高中, and my Chinese is 何涵. And my action plan topic is a tentative exploration of teaching English in inquiry-based learning. So I want to first to tell you the students' background. Our school is located at the edge of the city, so most of the students are from the blue-collar family, which means most of them didn't get enough cultural stimulations. And this caused some problems in the classroom. So the first one I want to talk about this one. The parents and the students in our schools, they don't really value the importance of education. So in the classroom, they only involved in the classroom when they feel it is funny, not because they want to learn something. So this is the problems I want to improve. And the other problem is from the textbook. I was trapped in the limitations from the textbooks and the monthly exams. And in our school, we are kind of a lack of teamwork among teachers. So the peer teachers here are very important to me. Yeah, and the students, and the most important one is students' learning motivation remain lacking seriously. So these are the goals I want to achieve. First, for the students, I hope they can keep learning motivation, and I hope they can develop the ability of critical thinking. I know it's very hard for them, but I still want to try. Maybe just a little step is their first step. And the ability this too is for me. I hope I can get the ability of designing a meaningful class for students, and also the ability to utilize effective learning skills. So, I think my solution and my action plan will be inquiry-based learning, because when I choose inquiry-based learning, because this teaching method could lead students could bring students curiosity and bring their active learning and problem-solving ability and critical thinking ability. And inquiry-based learning starts by posing questions, problems, or scenarios, and give students curiosity to get involved in learning. And there are some components in this method: problem statement, data collection, analysis, implications, and the conclusion. And this is the picture I got it from here, from this website. So this is the circle of inquiry-based learning. You can see ask, investigate, create, discuss, reflect, and we know this in the class in SFU, so I just give this. And talking about the adoption in my class, my students are 8th graders, and there are 30 students in one class, and the textbook is Hunting, book 3. And in my class, I mainly combine inquiry-based learning with the reading part and the grammar part. There are all the material from the textbook. And I conduct my class in differentiated grouping. There are 5 students in one group. My students are kind of naughty, but mostly are willing to cooperate with each other and cooperate with teacher. And the most important one is I keep remind myself that I have to give them sufficient waiting time. And in the reading part, this is my adoption. In the last picture, we talk about the circle of IBL. I found that it is difficult for me to go through the whole circle, but I try to go through these steps. So first, in this step, I post some questions, and in the create step, I provide information for them. Usually, it's like an article, and it is Chinese one, and they can read. They can read in the class, and in this stage, in this step, I make students to share opinions, usually as the gallery walk, and when I adapt IBO in grammar, I use teaching skills that Catherine Ken told us that I providing them the sentence fragments. It's like a small pieces of paper, and in create stage, the students scramble the whole sentence with those fragments. Okay, here is the scramble the fragments, and this is the activity that I told them because and the so clauses. As you can see on these papers, you can see both Chinese and English, and because in this activity they are homogeneous grouping, so in the group that students are struggling, they really need a one to help them to achieve to complete this activity. Okay, and this is the textbook material. Yeah, this is the picture. And after students read the reading article by themselves, I have some comprehension questions for them, and after that, I try to put the inquiry into this part. So the first, this material is about eating habits. So I decide the topic will be habits. So the first step, I let students to think about what habit do they have in their daily life. So there are really in their daily life. You can see the examples there. And then I use the continuous line, and I give them post-it notes to write down one habit of their own, and I want them to evaluate, is this one a good habit or a bad habit, and then they have to post it on the blackboard and to show their habits to other classmates. Very small. And here are the questions after the posted activity. And what good habit do you want to keep? And here I put the language focus. I teach them here you can use the sentence patterns like this. And number 3, what can you do for keeping this good habit? And the last one, what is a good habit? Why? Why is a good habit important? So, and here it is the investigation part. I should have bring students to the library or allow them to use cell phone and the internet to investigate, to collect data by themselves, but because of the limitations of time. So I just give them the article. I know this is the part I really need to improve. And after that, they have the activity, think, pair, and share. They think at first, and then I ask them not to write until they share their idea with their partners in pair. And after they share their ideas with their partners, they got all these ideas, so they can shift their thinking. And after that, they write down their thoughts. And because this is a differentiated grouping class, so some of the classmates they don't have the ability to write sentence like in the whole English. So I make them to draw pictures instead. This is the other, this is the picture that student give a draw. Okay, so after these classes, I haven't do the questionnaires because the class in December haven't finished. So I want to do the questionnaire after the December's class. So from my observations, students are more willing to participate in class activities and discussions compared to the classes before. Before that, students really feel English is a boring and a difficult subject. They just sit down there, their behavior is very good, and they just don't talk, and sometimes they just go asleep. So sometimes, so I'm sure that this is not a meaningful class for everyone. So, but after that, at least I saw every student, the high achiever, the struggling ones, they are willing to participate. And the student get a better understanding of given grammar rules. I'll talk about this later. So, and the students can connect textbook content to their own experience. In Unit 4, the class material, the material is about ghost pressure in sleeping time. So I asked some students to share their ghost pressure experiments to other students, and I also share mine to them. Okay, and the last one is more meaningful classroom activities for me to utilize. And here are the difficulties I met, and I'm on the way to improve them. So but I think the first one is really hard to improve. That is time-consuming schedule. I think everybody has this problem, and then I have difficulty conducting the whole inquiry circle due to the school schedule, especially the investigations part, and also I remember the last part of IBL is to act, or at least to show the attitude that you changed. But in that part I'm still working on it. I'll try to working on these problems. I try to complete a whole circle of IBL. And the polarized situation of English labels among students still exists. IBL is not the perfect solution for everything, at least for the polarized situation. Because as my observation, some struggling students, they are still use lots of Chinese to express their thoughts. And the last one, and the two contents, I have to try very hard to balance the contents and the language. And sometimes I think are all my classes meaningful for students? Okay, I got 2 minutes left. And I want to share the effective learning skills for you, and this one I have talked before, so let me jump to the second one. Okay, the second one, this idea is from the chat from Professor Chen, from Professor Chowan. And this activity I use in the dialogue learning. I call this transformed reader's theory. So students have the dialogue for 2 pages on their textbook, and they keep one of the page, and the other page I ask them don't look at the page, and they have to have their stories self-tell with this material. So based on this, they complete the dialogue, and because sometimes students will give you because sometimes 5 groups of students will give you 5 same stories. So I give them different elements for them. They have to insert these elements and to make up their stories, like Batman, Lion King, Food Panda, and something like this. And at last, they really give me 5 different stories, and some of the stories are creative. Okay, and the other one is also the dialogue activity. Students are given some speaking styles like gangsters, noble ladies, monks, devils and witches, elders. We have to talk like gangsters, talk like noble ladies, and to have the reader theatre. I like these activities a lot because students think this activity is interesting. So most of the students and the struggling students, they are willing to participate in this one. So in this activity, all my struggling students are willing to talk 1 or 2 English sentences. And this is the first time I hear them talk in English. Okay. And the inspiration from SFU program. Because my time is already ended, so let me make an easy ending. That is, thank you for everyone here. Thank you for every instructor, faculty in SFU and NTNU. Thank you for all. Thank you.